SMT Nation, we back. Nation, today Verizon stock was decimated after reporting their earnings for Q2 2024. It was definitely a mixed bag. I found quite a few positive things, some really good, solid directional moves from Verizon, but there were a couple of things that it looks like Wall Street really dinged Verizon for. I want to talk about those things here in this video. Link for the article from tipranks.com will be provided down in the description. Ways to support us can be found there as well. Please do like and share this video, subscribe if you're new here, and turn on the bell notifications icon to never miss an upload from the SMT. And to the folks who are saying they would like links to the articles that we use for our commentary videos here, they're in the description. Just look. All right, back to the video. All right, Verizon earnings. Verizon dips on mixed Q2 results. So some of the positive things for Verizon, financially, things look decent. Relaxed CapEx, so less spending, down like 20%, which is probably welcomed after a very, capital-intensive spend on their 5G network build the last, 12 to 18 months, a couple of years possibly. I think additionally, the broadband situation, 5G home internet, whether it's business or it's consumer, that is kicking ass and taking names, right? Those things for sure. But man, they are a train wreck when it comes to prepaid, and in postpaid phone net ads, still pretty weak. But there's actually something that Wall Street is citing that really hurt them and caused the stock to dip today. I think intraday, it was down 6 or 7%. It appears slow phone upgrades seem to be harming Verizon. All right, so let's break that down. Okay, so looking at why phone upgrades are slow and customers at Verizon aren't upgrading as much. Phones are expensive, and I think also the economic climate prevents people from just dropping willy-nilly $1,000 on a phone. Now, yes, they finance devices through carriers, but I think people are more apt to keep their phone for 3 years now. And who knows? Maybe some people are keeping their iPhones beyond the 3 years, right? The phone is working fine. Maybe they had to do a battery replacement or a screen replacement, but for the most part, they might still be satisfied with their iPhone 12, even though we're now in the 15 generation moving on to the 16. Now, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. We do have the iPhone launch in Q3 of this year, and no doubt I think some folks from the iPhone 11 generation that still are hanging tight, I think they're going to upgrade for sure, but it's the iPhone 12 generation that still has 5G-enabled cellular modems. I think it might be time for some of those folks to look for an upgrade as well, and it would enhance their experience with their handset. You're going to get a much better cellular experience, you're going to get a much better camera experience, a new fresh battery, better display technology, and of course the AI features that are going to be enabled on this new hardware from Apple. I think that's all a big factor here. Now Verizon, for what it's worth, has tried to offer customers more value with the My Plan, with the customization and those things, and it seems like the consumer would be empowered and they'd be interested in these things, but just based on the plan uptake, doesn't really seem to be showing itself. So I think the investor is looking at this from two angles. Slow phone upgrades means customers are more likely to churn or leave, and keeping them from renewing on the company, it puts them at risk to possibly, leave the company, in my opinion. I think it's possibly how they're looking at it. And then if they're slow, if Verizon is slow in that respect, does that mean AT&T is cooking? Does that mean T-Mobile is cooking? Is cable cooking? They might be looking to move their telco dollars to another company. I think that's part of it as well. So definitely a mixed quarter. I would not have thought that phone upgrade rates would have caused the Verizon stock to go down 6%, but apparently it did. Wall Street seems concerned because I think the concern is that with economics possibly fading even more, they believe that the upgrade rates might not actually rebound anytime soon. There is that kind of thing. And I will tell you guys, with respect to Wall Street right now, if you don't guide up, if you can't show that you're going to grow revenues at a considerable pace, improve margins at a substantial pace, your stock could sell down. Could be a small sell-off, and that's kind of what we saw here. Nothing dramatic, nothing major. I don't want to overreact or anything like that. But, Verizon's trying to build confidence in their investors, and they really haven't done that in a long time. And I think based on the way things are going, sure, they have less losses than they had last quarter, and they had less losses than they did 1 year ago quarter. But it doesn't look like the investor community has that much confidence in Verizon moving forward, at least in the short term. Long term, it's a different thing, but the sentiment does seem a little negative at this point in time. And I think the promises that Verizon has made the investor still has not shown itself, and that might be why the stock is down. And of course, this is not financial advice. I'm just kind of looking at some of the sentiment from Wall Street and taking a look at it. But I will tell you guys, we got AT&T and T-Mobile who are about to report. We'll learn more about these types of things, if it's an industry issue or if it's a Verizon issue. And I think that's the question. Churn rates didn't look bad. We'll see if AT&T and T-Mobile are better. Upgrade rates were slow. Let's see if the others are seeing the same thing. But comment, tell me what you guys think. Is this Verizon is it a Verizon specific issue, or is this an industry issue? Because if it's an industry issue, we should expect AT&T and T-Mobile to trade down, and they both are today. But when they report, I think it's going to be a little bit more telling. What do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section below. The voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.